All right, let's dive right in. Today's deep dive is all about data analysis.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
It is. We're going to be looking at this fascinating function in DAX.
The DAX.
Yeah, data analysis expressions. Think of it like a super powerful tool set, a specialized language almost. And it's all about crunching data, right? Making sense of it all.
I'm intrigued. What kind of data are we talking about here?
Well, the source material seems to focus on Microsoft Excel users.
Ah, Excel. The spreadsheet king.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Even if you're not a hardcore spreadsheet person, stick with us. The concepts we're diving into can apply to anyone who's interested in getting more out of their data.
I like that, making data accessible. So what's this special function all about?
It's called earliest, and it's all about retrieving a specific value from a column of data.
Okay, that sounds simple enough, but I bet there's a twist.
You bet. It's not just any value, it's the value from a specific moment in DAX's calculations. Called an outer evaluation pass.
Outer evaluation pass, I'm already lost.
I know, right? It sounds kind of like a secret code or something. What does that even mean?
Well, let's break it down. Imagine DAX processing your data step by step. Each of these steps is like an evaluation pass. And sometimes you need to look back to a previous step to see what a value was before other calculations changed things, before filters were applied, like a snapshot in time.
Right. To see how things used to be before all the fancy calculations messed with them.
Exactly. And that's where earliest comes in. It's like having a time machine for your data.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So, like if I was looking at, say, sales figures for a product and the price changed a bunch of times during the year.
You could use earliest to isolate the price at the very beginning of the year, see how that initial price influenced sales. Even if the price fluctuated all over the place during the year, it lets you understand the impact of that starting point.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty neat. But how do we actually use this thing? Is it super complicated to write?
Not at all. It's surprisingly simple. You just write earliest and then put the name of the column you're working with in parentheses. Bam, you're done.
So it's simple to write, but it's doing some pretty sophisticated stuff behind the scenes, right?
Right. Behind that simplicity, it's giving you the entire column, like raw data, before any filters are applied.
Like a peek behind the curtain. Now, there's this other thing that kind of tripped me up. The source material mentions that earliest is similar to another DAX function called earlier, but with this added level of recursion.
Ah, yes. Recursion.
And honestly, when I hear the word recursion, my brain just kind of shuts down. Can you help me out here? What exactly is recursion?
Of course. It can sound intimidating, but it's a really elegant concept. Think of it like, have you ever seen those Russian nesting dolls?
Oh, yeah, where you open one doll and there's a smaller one inside and then another even smaller one inside that way.
Exactly. Each doll contains another version of itself, just smaller. That's kind of like recursion. It's a function calling itself within itself, each time working on a smaller piece of the problem.
So with earliest, we're not just looking back at a previous step. We're looking back at all the previous steps that led up to this point.
Precisely. And that opens up a whole new level of complexity and power in your analysis. Imagine you're tracking inventory levels where each day's stock depends on the previous day, plus any new deliveries or sales. With earliest and recursion, you can accurately calculate the stock level on any given day by taking into account all the previous changes.
So it's like a chain reaction of calculations, all building upon each other.
That's amazing.
And it's not as scary as it sounds once you see the logic behind it.
Right. And it's incredibly useful for dealing with complex scenarios where data is constantly evolving. But there's a little caveat here.
Oh no, a caveat. What is it?
Our source material mentions something about direct query mode. Have you heard of that?
Vaguely. It's something to do with handling massive data sets, right?
Exactly. It's a way to work with huge data sets without loading everything into your computer's memory at once. Much more efficient.
But there's a catch.
Well, our sources point out that earliest isn't fully supported in direct query mode for all types of calculations. There are some limitations.
So it's not a magic bullet.
Not quite. It's important to be aware of these limitations, especially when dealing with huge data sets in direct query mode.
Okay, good to know. So we've learned that DAX is this powerful tool set for data analysis. And earliest is this really cool function that lets us grab values from previous calculation steps, almost like a time machine for data.
And with the added power of recursion, we can track how data changes over time, like watching a seedling grow into a tree.
Exactly. It's amazing how a seemingly simple function can do so much.
It is, and it makes you wonder, what other secrets are hidden within our data just waiting to be discovered?
That's a great question. Think about some data you work with regularly. What would you discover if you could rewind its evolution?
Food for thought. Thanks for diving deck with us today.
Absolutely. Until next time.